Hello, you absolute legends. Welcome back to the channel. It's John here. It's a Friday night, and Mrs. John Coupland's at work. So, what better way to spend my day than talking into this thing? And I wanted to talk to you about this. It's a Proton 1.5 GLS in a lovely rainforest green that is up for sale locally at the moment. In fact, I went and had a look at it, I say recently, sort of tail end of last year. And it's local to me. It's for sale in Peterborough. I was sent a little picture of a card, the cards that you see in places like Morrison's, Wilkinson's, Tesco, where people handwrite Proton for sale, future classic, I don't know, £500. This was written then on one of the cards, and the Passenger Seat podcast, Becca, sent me a copy of that, and I organised to go and have a look at it. And I thought I'd share it with you because I didn't end up buying it. It needed a little bit too much love for my thoughts. However, I wanted to show you it because it deserves to be out there on the internet and loved. So let's start inside, because that's just where the photographs start. Not very prepared here. Where's me picture gone? There it is. Right, so this is the interior. There's plastic on the seats. It wasn't original plastic, but it was overall good condition inside. We've got the later sort of 91, 92 crossover steering wheel in this, and you'll see that it's a crossover when we talk about it. So this is the interior then. Let's start in the interior. We have got windy window handles on the passenger and driver's side door, and we've got a analog clock which tells us that it is a GL or a GLS. Let's do some more investigating. There's a cigarette lighter which has actually been used at some point, and the dash has melted, that you can see there. And we've got a stereo which tells us that it can't be a GE, so it must be a GL or a GLS. An SE would have had a digital clock and would not have had windy windows on the front. The more you know for your old Protons. We've got this brown interior then, which would tell us it's one of a series of colours. I know, obviously, and you know, the colour is this lovely dual green, this rainforest green here. But overall, the interior looks good. I think the mileage on the car was 40-something thousand miles to owners. Here's the rear bench seats then, and something at some point has stained it. I think it was chalk or something similar. I gave it a quick rub. It felt dry. It didn't feel massively ingrained. But the fact that the old gent that had it for sale had got the plastic covers on here, he said that he's always known this staining on here. What else can we determine from looking at this picture then? Well, we can see that we've got this tunnel cover here and these plastic mats in the back. So we've got plastic floor mats, rubber floor mats. It's got to be a GLS. It has to be a GLS, and it is. It's a 1.5 GLS K-Reg. So what's that? HIJK. So it's 92, isn't it? 92 plate, which is a really early late one. I know that sounds ridiculous, but it's a crossover. And the way that we can tell between this being a crossover between the Iswara with the plastic bumpers is this having the metal bumpers here. So 92, that's when they started to do a crossover. And we can look at the front grille as well to have a look. So let's look in the boot. There's some stickers in the boot here. I can't remember what they were for. BBC Radio Essex, because the car came from Essex. It was his auntie's, I believe he said. And she lived obviously down in Essex, and it's come up to Peterborough. We've got, I don't think we had the original number plates, but we'll find out in just a moment's time. All the original wheel trims and things that I like to see on cars of this era. Things like I'm supporting the poppy peel, the lifeboats, the art association, things like that. So this is obviously the driver's side. Things that you can see here is this panel here has been repainted at some point in its life below this trim. So it's not the right green, is it there? And that's one thing that did put me off on the day. Here's the boot then. Let's look at this. Elm Tree Garage, Colchester. No, it's going to probably be the original number plate, isn't it? Especially looking at this font. This trim here on the boot lid normally goes missing. It's just a push-on piece of trim. Nice to see that that was still in place. And you've got the early Proton badge here and a 1.5 GLS. The way you can always tell how good they've been looked after is by looking at these badges because they normally just fade to black. Good. Looking good there. Some more images of this side. It was difficult to get to the passenger side because of this fence and these bins. This is under the engine then. Lusgron green. Something green, isn't it? Lush. I can't say. My German's terrible. Lusgron green. I know it as Rainforest green. And you can tell that it's a later crossover, that it's not an 89 or a 90 or a 91, because we've got Proton now written on the air filter. Early ones, Mitsubishi badge here, and would have had the Magma 8 valve engine. This then is a 12 valve, triple valve, in an earlier bodied car. What else have we got? Things that to look out for. Battery tray, yes. Normally these get cut. This one also has been cut. It's very, 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 very rare to find one that hasn't been cut. I think I've got two, one in each of my cars. It's also nice to see all the original Proton stickers. And under here, relatively good condition, isn't it? There's the car then. You can see it's been painted now. Here, and also here on the front bumper, it's been scrawked and painted. The wheel trims have also been painted at some point. They've been masked off here, look, and painted here, here, and here. And for some God unbeknown reason, the front door handle had also been painted. No idea why. They're just plastic. You can just clean them, and they come up lovely. So somebody at some point has painted it. Oh! Forgot to tell you about this. This was one of the main reasons that I said no to the car. It's the window and the window trim. Let's just scroll out and have a better look. There's the front then. You can see it's a later grille. So we've got colour-coded bumpers. They're metal bumpers. But we've got this, the hooped grille, which came in about 1992. Perfect. KWK Reg look. Proton Elm Tree Garage, Colchester. That is an unusual number plate there, isn't it? I wonder if anyone has ever tried to replicate that. What are these stickers? What's that? That looks like the original number plate, doesn't it? But no idea what the funky thing on the front is all about. There's the old boy then that was selling it. Forgot his name. Peter, I think his name was. He's got a Jag under here. Eccentric chap. Nice guy, though. Nice enough guy. Been painted here again. And front of this bonnet has started to go, hasn't it? Look. There's me having a look round. He's not too bothered. He's like, yeah, take it or leave it, mate. And I quite like people like that. This side was a little bit more beaten up than I remember. Oh, and this wing mirror has been painted. So we've got bits of silvery green and we've got bits of rainforest green. And there it is. There's the car. Looks good. The best bit about it is this interior and the paperwork that came with it. Lots of documentation. Oh, I forgot that I was there. Hello. Where did I go? Hang on a minute. Oh, that's how I come back. Oh, I could have done the whole video like that. We'll finish on this image and me talking about the car. It's still available if you want it, if you're interested. I can put you in contact with the owner. It doesn't start. I think it's the fuel pump. He said it does normally start. You've come to look at it, and it won't start. It sounded like the fuel pump. We tried some of the start your devil squirt. Wasn't having any of it. It wasn't getting fuel. It's still there. I had course to drive past 3 or 4 days ago and see the car. It's still there in its current condition. Deteriorated a little bit more. But if you're interested, let me know and I can put you in contact with this guy. He wanted a lot of money for it in its current condition. So whether or not he'll have changed his mind in the past few months, I don't know. But I thought it'd be good to just talk about that and talk about some of the differences as well between the crossover. I'm calling them a crossover. You know, the Aswaras and L-Reg, plastic bumpered, and the early models, slatted grille, different body trim down the side, no pinstriping, no colour-coded wing mirrors, etc. So for some people, you might find it interesting. The differences, some people not. Anyway, there it is, and that's the GLS I went to look at recently. Hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, smash subscribe if you haven't already. Give it a like, and in the comments below, let me know. Would you have taken this on as a project? And how much would you have paid? How much would you have been paid paying this chap for this car? It'd be interesting to see just how far I was out and just how far he was out. Until next time, have a great day. Take care. More Proton content coming. Loads more stuff coming. Take care. Bye-bye.